Welcome to Diablo 2 Resurrected. Was that evil enough for you? What is it, my friends? My name is Echo, and I was lucky enough to get my hands on the technical alpha for Diablo 2 Resurrected. Thank you, Blizzard. I'm stoked for the first time ever to jump into Diablo 2 Resurrected. So before we get deeper into the video, guys, I want to thank, obviously, Blizzard for sending me over the copy. It's pretty awesome that even though I focus on mobile games in the channel, specifically Diablo Immortal, they made me part of the fam and even sent me something that's on PC. I also want to give some love to everyone over on my Discord server that was there when I was kind of streaming this live with everyone, especially Ice Cold, who walked me through a lot of this, because without that walkthrough, I would have been lost, because Diablo 2 is not an easy game. We're going to be getting into all of that here today inside of this video from a person's perspective that is new to Diablo 2. Yeah, I haven't ever played it before. I played a lot of Diablo 3. I've played the technical alpha of Diablo Immortal, which is where I will be living on this channel. But Diablo 2 is new. Little sneak peek. I like it. So I want to give you guys my first impression of the game. Now, this is a game that has some age under its belt. It's been around for a long time, and the remastered version is really just making it look better, bringing it up to the times, at least closer to the times, with graphics. I also want to mention that I did play on a controller because I really don't like the click to move mechanic inside of action RPGs on PC. Yes, you could leave the hate in the comments below. I'm sorry, guys. It's just how I prefer to move. So I did use a controller. So those are two mechanics that I believe were changed for this. I don't believe there was controller support for Diablo 2. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know in the comments below. But my overall impression was this game is really good. And also on top of that, this game is really hard, because games back in the day were not made with 5 hours of easy elements so you get used to the game. There was no pampering inside of the games back in the day. They just were hard, and you had to figure them out, and you had to make your way through dying, losing progression, gaining that progression back, and dying, and continuing that type of process. And that was my complete experience. Now, I've only dove probably 2 hours into the technical alpha so far of Diablo 2 Remastered, or Resurrected, actually. I always mix it up. It's actually Diablo 2 Resurrected. By the way, here's the screen so you can see all of your inventory, keep things organized. One thing worth noting, the inventory is small. You will find yourself going back home many, many times. And based on how you have things organized in your inventory, other things may not fit. So for example, if you want to put arrows or a bow, you have to have 3 boxes down, 2 boxes over from the fit. If you don't have that exact configuration, it'll tell you that it won't fit. So you better make your space. But overall, the game looks great, the game plays great, the game sounds great, and the game is fun. But let's go a little bit more in depth. Let's talk about the graphics of the game. Now, are we talking about a 2021 style graphic game up to par with some of the best games on the market? Of course not. We're talking about a game that was made in the 90s and that has been polished to look better and more playable for now. I personally love the graphics, to be honest with you. I think that they're really nice, and they're what they're supposed to be, a remastered version of an older game. I think Blizzard did a really nice job polishing things up, because there is a way inside of the game for you to get a look at what the game looked like before. I accidentally hit some button combination and made that happen, and I realized, well, wow, the game does look a lot better now. So let's talk about the controls in the game. Now, I will mention, when I played the first time, I played on a different class, and I wanted to try out, keyboard and mouse. It was cool, but you have to do that click to move mechanic, which so many Diablo players are used to, and it's probably preferred by most, but it's not preferred by me. So the computer controls, the mouse and keyboard are classic to what you're used to with any Diablo game, so that would be standard. For me, I thought this shined with the controller support. I'm sitting here with my Xbox 360 plug-in controller, literally the best controller ever made, my favorite. I'm still rocking the 360 controllers whenever I do this stuff, and it just, you plug it in and everything works. No mapping needed. It worked out really nicely, and I really loved playing it on the controller. just for the movement and the attack alone. Now, yes, maybe it's a little bit more difficult to maneuver through your bag and through the menus, but as far as movement goes, it was on point. Now, the gameplay was pretty cool. As I mentioned earlier, and what I'm doing right now inside of the game is doing a bunch of managing of my resources, because this is something you're going to do a lot of inside of the game. As I mentioned, you have very limited space inside of your bag, so you're going to always find yourself teleporting back home to basically salvage and sell stuff, buy things that you need. You're going to spend a lot of time on your inventory screen and talking to Akara. Now, as you sit with your character, you can have a primary and secondary weapon. You can put on your gear, you can put on all your boots, and eventually jewelry and stuff like that, all which could be upgraded and all which takes damage that needs to be fixed. But gameplay is a lot more than just management and screens and things that are going to allow you to correctly put things together inside of the game, because it's all about the battle mechanics as well, which worked really nicely. You could set up skills from your skill tree and assign them to different controls on either your computer yourself, the keyboard, or onto your controller, and it works really nicely. Combat feels good, but again, combat is not easy. You will get stuck on things. You will get stuck in between hordes of enemies. You will not strike every time you try to strike your opponent. It can be very difficult, as we're about to see from some of the gameplay mechanics. And notice I keep going back to my menus. I'm trying to prepare everything, and what I did right now is I set up a teleport, preparing to die, because when you die, you want to be able to go from your home right back here instead of having to run completely across the map. It's one of the biggest tips that you can learn. That, set your teleports up, plus gold. It's invaluable. But now, let's take a look at this screen. Now, as you can see, you could upgrade your character as well. Strength, dexterity, vitality, and energy. This is really great as you progress through the game, and I was told after spending quite a bit on strength that I should actually be spending on vitality with the Barbarian. I also learned that melee classes are hard in Diablo 2. Now, these systems that I was just sharing with you all work really nicely. They are nice. Upgrading your character itself, being able to work and maximize the space in your bag, and work with the people that you have in your village to upgrade things and to sell things. All of that, it's Blizzard classic. It works flawlessly. Again, the space that you have is maybe some of the most limited that I've seen. And look at this. We're trying to take on the Blood Raven right now. She gets the best of me a few times, but we keep teleporting back because we placed that teleport, and we come back and smash her right in the face. You're going to get to see it because it's pretty epic, and I felt good after it happened. But the mechanics, the systems, the skill trees as well, you obviously are going to want to plan out your route on those skill trees so you don't waste any skill points. And, well, it works well. The way that you know from Diablo 3 if you've never played Diablo 2. Or the way that you know from Diablo 2 because it's the exact same system as in Diablo 2, because this is Diablo 2 Resurrected. So it looks a lot cooler. But this battle wasn't easy, and I should probably throw in here, how do I compare all this to Diablo Immortal? Completely different game. This plays nothing like Diablo Immortal. You know, taking away mobile controls versus controller or PC, the game is just so much different. This game, Diablo 2, is so much different, and I died, than even Diablo 3. Alright, so we just teleported back. We're going to give this another shot and try and take her down. Not saying it gets much easier, but let's talk about the overall experience I had playing this game. When I was given this technical alpha for Diablo 2 Resurrected, I was stoked. I was happy that I was trusted enough by Blizzard to have this in my hands and play it and share it with you guys. But I didn't know what to expect from the game. I was told by many that this is a hardcore game. When you dive into it, you don't really have direction. There's no footsteps on the ground telling you where to go. There's no map guiding you exactly where you need to go. You need to explore, and you need to find your way. Plus bosses, this is only the second boss I went against in this game, and she got the best of me. A lot. So it was definitely a hard game, and I was anticipating that. Like I said, lucky for me, I had Ice Cold, who is a member of my Discord server, on here with me, as well as a bunch of others that were giving me tips, giving me hints, telling me about the teleports, telling me to bring all of my, and I'm stuck right now, by the way. I couldn't get out, but everyone was helping me, trying to get me to go where I needed to go so I wouldn't waste time, resources. So I had the best shot to see some success. And that's what I'm talking about when we discuss community, and why I want all you guys to come through my Discord server, which is the pinned comment below, because we have an amazing community that looks out for one another, and that is really just having each other's backs, which I'm waiting for you guys to play either this game or Diablo Immortal, because that's really the end game for me. So my overall experience so far, about 2 hours in, has been fun. Is this a game I would continue to play or play instead of Diablo Immortal? No, not for me. I'm personally much more in love with the mobile gaming experience. It fits my lifestyle better. We've discussed it more on the channel, but this was definitely a lot of fun. Again, it's a technical alpha, so many things are going to change. Many bugs are going to be fixed, although I have not yet encountered any. And what will I do after this video? Well, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to go play more of this game. I'm going to stream more of it to my server so people can chill out, hang out, and watch and give me those tips. And in a few days, when I get a better hang of the game, when I gear up my barbarian and I'm not such a noob, maybe I'll bring you guys a more in-depth review of my experience inside of the game. For right now, it was just a brushing the surface, but you are about to watch her go down. This is pretty epic right now. I was a fan of it. I bet you guys are too. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that you decide to come through the Discord server, which is the pinned comment down below, and say what's up. And if you want to look cool, cooler than you probably already do, check out my merch, which you could find in my merch store, which is also a pinned comment down below. I appreciate you guys coming through here today, and I hope to see you back here again tomorrow. Until that time, guys, be good.